I am trying to even think where to begin what I want to say. I know some major transformative things have been happening to me the last few days. Maybe the last week or so has been just like a whoosh of things happening when it comes to me really digging deep into my understanding of self and who I am, and my beliefs, things that may have been holding me back that I wasn't aware of because it felt so much like a part of who I am. A lot of this transformation that I'm having is in the realm of my spirituality, one, and how it may be impacted by how I was groomed into what spirituality was and what was the right way and the wrong way of being, what was pleasing to God and what was unpleasing to God. And I've been having instances where, directly and indirectly, where I am asking myself, what do I believe? And even more so than what do I believe, it's more so like what is resonating with my spirit. And I've come to this understanding, understanding, overstanding, whatever you want to, all of it. And it is really coming down to these couple of questions. In the decision that I'm making, will it disconnect me from God? Will I feel disconnected from God, or will I think that I will be disconnected from God? Meaning, either God will forsake me, or I will forsake myself and separate from God because my belief that I am less worthy now for whatever reason. The next question, the follow-up to that, is if I am feeling that this will disconnect me from God, then why and how? How would my decision disconnect me from God? What about what I'm deciding to do will cause that disconnect from God? And then the next question following up from that is does that truly resonate with my spirit? Or is that something that has been imposed upon me and I am imposing it upon my spirit? Now, if it's something that isn't going to disconnect me from God, then I'll go ahead and go through it because I know then that my spirit is in a good place. I'm remaining connected with God. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm speaking highly to myself. I'm speaking encouraging words. I'm having encouraging thoughts. I'm having motivating thoughts. I'm feeling inspired more. I am gentle with myself more. I am empowered in the choice that I made. And all the things that keep me vibrating on a level where I'm always feeling the connection. So that part won't be too difficult. Now, the challenge comes when the answer is yes. This might disconnect me or make me feel like I'm disconnected. And why? Because I feel like I'm not being pleasing, to God. And then if I'm not being pleasing to God, then what does that mean? That means that I won't be blessed. And then what does that mean? That my goals and aspirations and things that I want to do and accomplish, or this whole vision that I see for my life, it won't happen, or it'll be very much delayed, because now I have to make correction or penance or whatever the case is. Because I feel that I've done something wrong, and that now I have to make up for it, or do something, or a bunch of things to make up for it. And you never really feel that you made up for it while you're feeling guilty about the choice that you made that would be displeasing, or even having a thought to do it, And so then I was like, oh my gosh, who told me that? Who told me that this will be displeasing? Who told me that God wouldn't want these things for me? Who told me that I will be forsaken or disconnected? Who told me that that will be my experience and my outcome? And why did I agree to that? Well, one part is the grooming part is groomed into it, and I didn't know any better. I didn't know any other. I didn't know an alternative. I only knew what I was taught, what I was shown, what I was groomed again to believe, conditioned to believe. And now, because I'm leaning into my understanding and my own understanding and overstanding and things that the knowledge and things that I've gained, not only about myself, but just about other things that external to me, energy that's internal and external, and spiritual matters, and just looking at things from a perspective that integrates both mind, body, and spirit. So when I'm asking myself the question, will I be feeling disconnected? Yes. Why? Because I was groomed to believe this would be displeasing to God. Why do I believe that? Why did I agree to it? Because that's all I know. Well, what do you know now? Well, now I know that that it's just not true. It's just not true. There is nothing that I can do that can disconnect me from God, except for me disconnecting my own self from God. And I can do that by my belief that I am, and then my action that follows said belief. So when we talk about sin, and sin being the thing that would disconnect you from God because somehow you have been displeasing, and then now you are forsaken and all of the things, and now you have lost your connection to God. You have tainted your connection to God, your purity, while it's forgetting that if we are created in the image of God, and all of the things that we feel and we're experiencing and that comes to us more naturally and organically is also a representation of God, meaning that if I have a natural inclination towards things that are pleasing to me, then why deny things that are pleasing to me? Now, that's not to say that there isn't some kind of discipline that comes in the things that are pleasing to us or to myself, because the discipline comes in the bigger thing that will be pleasing to me, that maybe some of the smaller things that I'm growing through, while they may still create some level of pleasure, they may also be creating some kind of detriment within me because it's keeping me from the bigger goal that I'm trying to achieve. So that's when you make adjustments and you grow and you evolve. And aren't we all about evolving? Things that were pleasing to us at one point in our lives, we evolve from those things because what we desire for ourselves has evolved. So then the things that we do, and the way that we move also then will evolve. But just going back to when it is a yes, and understanding that it's because I was groomed, and now when I sit with my own spirit and I ask myself, well, what do you actually believe? What actually resonates with you about this? Well, it's not what they said. It's actually different. I actually believe that this is okay. I actually believe that this has been placed on my spirit and my heart to do because my spirit is connected to God. And it could be a myriad of reasons why I've been drawn to do a particular thing. It could be because my spirit is leading me down a path that's going to illuminate some things within me that need to be illuminated, that are back hidden in those conscious or subconscious shadows. And I need to go into those subconscious shadows. So I need to venture in ways that I haven't ventured in before to get there. Because as long as I'm moving in the light, I'm not getting in the shadows and seeing what's over there. So then I have to venture into the shadows and see what's over there to illuminate that, put light into it to gain a deeper understanding of what things going on in the shadow is also preventing me from getting where I'm trying to get to, that bigger goal. And sometimes those things hidden in the shadows are those things that we were groomed to believe that do not resonate within our souls, but we hold on to them because they've been there so long that we believe that they are a part of our actual belief, when actually it's a foreign substance that's just been there so long that we believe that it's a part of us. And it's not. And we can do the work to remove it. That way we're really understanding and operating from our true place of self, with less influences that actually are keeping us from our elevation. We talk about not wanting to be displeasing to God. We talk about we don't want to sin, when the ultimate sin is just disconnection from God. So when we condemn ourselves and we criticize ourselves and, for wanting to follow paths that someone else told you that particular behaviors were going to be sinful, because these particular behaviors are not pleasing to God, and where they get the information from is based on their own beliefs and not necessarily anything that God has told them, or possibly the God they serve. And that's another conversation to have. Like, what God are you serving that's telling you these things? Because the God I serve is a loving one and wouldn't condemn me for being human, for having desires, for having urges, for being ignorant to some things, but seeking out the understanding and the knowledge of said things. The God that I serve wouldn't forsake me for that. Actually, the God that I serve will encourage me to gain deeper understanding, because what I'm understanding, what I've learned through my own experience of learning and gaining knowledge, is the more that I learn, the more knowledge that I gain when it comes to my spirit and myself, the closer I feel to God. And that's not sinful. So this is the kind of evolution of things that I'm going through right now while I'm in Bangkok. And it's so interesting because it is about my spirituality, but it's also about my sensuality and my sexuality as well, or more so, not my sexuality, but maybe my relationship with my expression of my sexuality and my sensuality. So it's creating a healthier relationship between me and that part of myself. Which is important considering like my history and the things that I was taught regarding your body, what you're supposed to do as a woman, how you're supposed to carry yourself, and things like that. So it's been a very transformative experience for me that didn't start in Bangkok. It started just in Asia, period. And I think that's interesting because when I was in Japan in 2016, one of the local women I was working with, she was like, yeah, America, your programming is so violent, but here it's very sexual, like sex is not taboo, but sex is taboo in America. And that is interesting because I believe that is part of why my transformation has happened, because the energy here is not a bad thing. It's just a part of being. And that I can appreciate. I'm going to end it there because I'm still sitting in some of this right now. But it's all good. Peace for now.